A small, tiny, super wealthy elite live the dream while ordinary people live lives of desperate poverty, okay? That is what's going to happen to your country, and that is what's going to happen to my country.
What's going on, you guys? Today we have Gary Stevenson calling out Dave Rubin. Dave Rubin is selling out the working class. Gary Stevenson is fighting back. Let's get into it.
State in Ilford in Essex, sort of east of London for Americans. You rose to become Citibank's most profitable trader in the world, but you grew increasingly disgusted by what you saw as the blatant inequality of the system that you were gaming. You had a breakdown and then you quit, and you're now an avid anti-inequality campaigner. You think there are fundamental changes required in the system, centered around redistribution of wealth and resource, or the whole thing will collapse. So starting with you, how much did that resonate with you, what Bill Burr was saying?
Well, I come from a poor background. In East London. My friends and my family still live in that background. So, these stories of mum skipping meals so the kids can eat, people not being able to put the heating on in the winter, that's common. That's really, really, and I think it's important that we say that in spaces like these, because now I exist in these media spaces, and I've been to these fancy universities, I've worked in the banks. A lot of wealthy people don't see that's happening. In this country, I'm talking to you right now, half the country struggles to simultaneously feed the kids and turn the heating on. That's the truth. And I know it's getting that way in America as well. So of course it resonates with me, Of course it resonates with me. The poverty is out of control.
I mean, Dave, the argument will be, I'll let you espouse the argument you want to espouse, but one of the big arguments, of course, is that what billionaires like Elon Musk have done, for example, is they build tremendous businesses which generate tremendous amount of jobs for people to then earn good money and do exactly what a lot of people here can't afford to do. So therefore, they can be a force for good, albeit, obviously, you're going to get bad apples. How do you see it?
Sure. Well, first, let me jump to the part that I agree with, which is that, of course, there is inequality. And would we all like to see poor people have more? And is it possible that some people have, quote unquote, too much? It's hard to agree what that might be, but I'm sympathetic to that argument for sure. And that's in my country, and that's across the pond right here. That's number one. The question really is the method that is going to free the most people and free the markets and allow people to flourish. I believe in free market capitalism. I want there to be as much.
And here we have Dave Rubin. He even sounds sort of like a salesman, like he's trying to sell you on a dream or on something that, he gives off a really weird vibe to begin with. But here's some numbers just before we get started with anything. Since the election of Donald Trump, Elon has seen his wealth increase by $170 billion. Mark Zuckerberg saw his net worth increase by $41 billion. These are just some numbers that you get. These are some amounts of money that you get whenever you kneel before the crown, whenever you kneel before someone who is now in power, who is now in office, who has swindled money from the American people using, crypto or other various things, and is going to use other ways to get over on the American people. So you might believe in, these people might have too much whenever they're using ways to get money from people that are lesser, that are disenfranchised. They're using these hyper aggressive means to obtain capital.
Competition is possible. I don't have a problem with billionaires because generally speaking, billionaires have built things. I mean, the idea that Elon Musk is devoting this amount of time to working for the government to help make sure that the government is more efficient is pretty spectacular. If I could jump back to the Bill Burr clip for just a moment. I know Bill a little bit. We've traveled in some of the same circles. I mean, he's surrounded by all millionaires. It used to be that Bernie Sanders was always complaining about millionaires. Then Bernie Sanders became a millionaire and he started complaining about billionaires. The idea that if you just somehow magically took out, well, he also made a violent threat there, but let's put that aside for a moment. But if you somehow took these people out, or if you took 10 billionaires and you took all of Jeff Bezos' money and you took all of Peter Thiel's money and Mark Zuckerberg, et cetera, you took all of their money and you redistributed it throughout the system, that somehow 3 years later things would be better, I think is a completely faulty argument. There's way more things as it pertains to education and teaching people proper value of money and what economics really is that I think is way more important than just demonizing the billionaire class or any other class. Class warfare does not work and will ultimately lead to kind of what his bad joke was about, which was violence against these people.
And again, they've built a system to where you have to believe in it for it to continue to work, for them to continue to sit on top of where they're at, and for them to continue to benefit off of this system. They have to get you to believe in this system that is now getting you to the point to where people are starving. The common man is starving. There is a commonality between the haves and the have-nots, and a lot more people are becoming have-not.
What I preach is to raise taxes and reduce the growing inequality. That's what I preach. Listen, I ain't here telling people. I didn't tell you to give your money away. I didn't tell you to give your money away.
You want the power, but you are, because you want the power of the state, which has the guns, to say to Elon Musk and Peter Thiel and Mark Zuckerberg, we're going to take your money. We're just going to pick a number and decide how much to take. Do you give more than 1% of your money to charity?
I want the state.
You can voluntarily
ordinary
do
people
it.
from the rich.
But
And if they
do you do any of that yourself?
Listen, I'm not here to tell anybody to give their money away.
Right,
I'm here to tell people how to protect their class.
101. I mean, this is what the left
All right,
is.
listen, I'm going to go home and I'm going to bet on the collapse of the American middle class, and it's going to happen. And I'm here telling them it's going to happen.
Okay,
and I'm here telling them how to
sure,
stop
but why don't you
it, okay?
do that and
I ain't here
donate
pretending to be a
1%
good
of your
person.
salary?
I never said I was a good person. Read
Yeah,
the book, you can
well.
see. But I'm a good fucking economist, and I'm going to be right. And you've made your prediction that living standards will increase in the next 3 years.
Well,
and I've made my prediction that they won't. And we will see in 3 years
Well,
who's
I can't
right.
speak to
And I
what's
will tell you
gonna
right
happen here,
now,
but I
I
can
haven't
speak
been
to
wrong
what's
many
happened in
times
my
in the
country.
past. Listen, you're from my country, okay? You know people that look like me and sound like me don't get a chance to make millions of pounds betting on the economy, okay? There's a reason that I'm doing this, because I'm fucking good at it, okay? I don't need to be here. I could be on the beach in the Philippines.
I know lots of traders who come from working class backgrounds.
Who? Name one.
I know lots in the city.
Listen, I worked in Canary Wharf. I'm from East London,
I
okay?
worked in Canary Wharf.
A guy came up to me and he said, that's an interesting accent. Where are you from? I fucking worked in East London. Listen, Piers, I got a lot of respect for you, okay? You're an older man. Nowadays,
Whoa, that was brutal. That was brutal.
The City of London does not contain working class people. I've been there, Piers. I've been there. I was there 10 years ago.
There are no working class people in the City of London. Come on.
There was I worked in Canary Wharf for 4 years. One kid come through once. His name was Tariq. I remember. The only working class kid I ever saw come through when I was there. One, Piers, in 4 years. In Canary Wharf, which is in East London.
Okay, so I'm still trying to wrestle with. All right, look, you're perfectly entitled to do with your money what you want to do. Okay, and you haven't demanded we give ours away. Fine. Okay, I get that. But what is your answer? I mean, if you had the chance now to run the Western world economically, give me...
And again, this is what's happened, built over however many years. We've had both parties sell us out. We've had the left and the right continually sell us out to corporations. And then now we have somebody who is calling that out, which is Trump. He's calling out the entire bankruptcy of both systems. That got a lot of people on his side. And what's the first thing that he's doing now is he's doing the exact same thing. It is just so out in the open, the exact same thing that he's doing. He is like gutting the system that once provided wealth for people like him. And now that's not even going to work. So now it's just going to be whoever has gotten it, cashed out. That's good. And anyone else, good luck to you. You're going to have to uphold this dying state, this dying nation.
Give me the blueprint for how we stop going down what you think is an apocalyptic path.
Tax work less, tax wealth more. Simple as that. You can't have ordinary working people paying 40-50% while billionaires pay 5%.
But ordinary working people don't. But you mean the middle class, though? That's not working class. Working class people
pay 30-40-50% once you include everything. Once you include their VAT, once you include their income taxes, they do. They do. Once you include their health taxes,
Well,
it's essentially
would
a
you
tax.
be for a flat tax? Pick whatever the number is, 12% on
No, because it won't work. A flat tax is not going to work. Listen.
So what would you like to see?
I know you're an American, okay? Listen, look at the history of my country, okay? For hundreds and hundreds of years, a small, tiny, super wealthy elite lived the fucking dream while ordinary people live lives of desperate poverty, okay? That is what's going to happen to your country. And that is what's going to happen to my country if you do not protect the working class from the rich.
But that's exactly what we're doing right now. That's what Donald Trump did.
We've made our bets.
That's what Donald Trump's entire movement is all about. It's a movement.
And right here, you know, we can keep on watching it, but it really is just Dave Rubin going to continue to grift and shill for government that is getting rid of Medicare, is like completely gutting that system, getting rid of taxes for the extremely wealthy, getting rid of programs to help regular people and people that are in need. And it's so clear in front of our eyes what's happening. But he's going to continue to sell the American people, conservatives, MAGA believers, this dream. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. It's another day in the progressive way.